Good evening. Welcome to REA Energy's 2020 annual meeting. My name is Chad Carrick. I'm President and CEO of REA Energy. To say the least, this has been a challenging year. The pandemic has caused numerous changes at the cooperative, causing us to cancel our REA meetings, all travel, and for the first time ever, we actually have remote board meetings. Originally, we had contemplated canceling our director elections and our annual meeting. The cooperatives follow something called the Rochdale Principles and a lot of tradition. So we pushed forward with the election. Those results will be announced later tonight. And we came up with a new annual meeting format that is safe for our members and our employees. Welcome to the first online annual meeting at REA Energy. And let me say in advance that I appreciate your patience if there are any potential technical difficulties tonight. We're very excited to try this new format, and as obvious, our members are as well. We have over 480 people that registered tonight. I want to go over some important items and changes for tonight's meeting. This meeting is online only. However, we do have board directors, some employees, and the Credentials and Elections Committee here to handle certain business requirements. Most of the meeting has been pre-recorded with some live presentations. We decided to pre-record just in case a presenter had to self-quarantine. We had to change bylaws when it came to determining a quorum. Our old bylaws required 75 registered members in person. Our new bylaws simply state a simple majority of members registered online and in person. We had to change our registration process for an online meeting so we can distribute the door prizes and the gifts properly. The President and CEO update is a town hall format. We researched this extensively, and this type of format is more engaging for an online meeting. There are members that cannot join us tonight due to broadband issues. Those members, to service those members or to appreciate those members, we're going to have a member appreciation month in October. Any member that is not able to attend tonight's meeting can stop by one of the offices, get a free gift, and be entered into a drawing. Participants in the online meeting tonight will receive a $10 gift certificate instead of a material gift, and all door prizes will be electric gift certificates. You can enter comments and questions throughout the meeting. However, we will not be answering any of those questions tonight. We will answer them during normal business hours after the meeting. The 2019 annual meeting minutes, financials, outage information can be found in the handout section of this webinar. And finally, tonight's meeting will be shorter and to the point. There will be no guest speakers and presentations have been condensed. Please enjoy tonight's meeting and good luck on the door prizes. We hope to see you all next year, and please stay safe and healthy. Thank you.
Good evening. On behalf of the Board of Directors, it's a pleasure to welcome you to REA Energy's Cooperative's annual meeting. I'm Michael Bertolino, Chairman of the Board and Director of District 3 Director. Let me introduce the current board members. District 1 is Tom Resniak, Jr. District 2 is Rick Shope. District 4 is Director Howard Turntritt. District 5 and Secretary Treasurer Bob Neese. District 6 is Director John Learn. District 7, Director Anthony Enciso. District 8 and Vice Chairman Wayne Farball. District 9, Director Sandy Deal. The cooperative attorney is Tim Leventree. The cooperative's president and CEO is Chad Carrick. Candidate for District 1 election, Paul Weston. Candidate for District 4 election, Tom Andre. I will now ask Chris Masterson to give the invocation.
Will you please join me in prayer? Dear Lord, as we begin this meeting, we ask that you would guide our thoughts and our actions so that we may have a successful event today. Thank you on behalf of all who are gathered together this day. Thank you for your many and abundant blessings. Thank you for life itself, for the measure of health that we need to fulfill our callings, for sustenance, and for friendship. Thank you for the ability to be involved in useful work and for the honor of bearing appropriate responsibilities. We ask that you would guide and direct our meeting so that it is full of wisdom, productivity, and respect for one another. You are the source of all that is good. You are the source of all our blessings. Again, we thank you for every gift that we have been given. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chris. Now we will recite the Pledge of Allegiance of the United States. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Now we have the statement of the quorum. With a count of 355 present and online, I declare a majority of 178 is present and there is a quorum. Next, we'll have the approval of last year's minutes. Members have access to the online version of the 2019 minutes. Would someone entertain a motion to dispense with the reading of last year's minutes?
I make a motion.
Motion made,
I second it.
second made. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Would someone now like to make a motion to approve the 2019 annual minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made, I need a second.
I'll second it.
I got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
This will admit you to the virtual annual meeting and also entitles the named member a chance to win a door prize. Members who participate in the online meeting for the entire time will receive a $10 bill credit. Informational videos, along with a list of frequently asked questions on how to register and log in for the meeting, are posted on our website. The cooperative has made the decision in the best interest of the members, board of directors, and REA Energy employee health and safety. We appreciate your understanding and cooperation regarding this matter. 6:30 p.m., call to order and determination of quorum. Reading of notice, action on the 2019 minutes, election results, chairman's report, president and CEO's report, unfinished business, new business, adjournment, questions and answers, awarding of prizes, signed Robert Neese, Secretary Treasurer. Reading of the Secretary's certificate. I, Robert Neese, Secretary Treasurer of REA Energy Cooperative Incorporated, do hereby certify that the total number of members receiving service on this date of the annual meeting is 18,552. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and affixed the seal of the cooperative this 10th day of September 2020. Signed, Robert Neese, Secretary Treasurer, and also assessed to Michael Berlino, the Chairman. Reading of the Secretary's Certificate of Proof of Mailing. September 10th, 2020, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, County of Indiana. I, Robert Neese, being first sworn duly on oath, depose and say that I am duly elected, qualified, and acting Secretary Treasurer of REA Energy Cooperative, Incorporated, that on the 20th day of August 2020, each member of the cooperative was mailed a notice of annual meeting of the members of the cooperative scheduled for September 10th, 2020. By depositing such notice with postage prepaid, addressed as foresaid in the United States mail, and that the above and foregoing is a true and correct copy of the said notice of the said meeting, mailed as foresaid, signed, Robert Neese, Secretary Treasurer.
Good evening. My name is Tim Loventree. I am the Cooperative's attorney and judge of the elections. I want to read for you tonight the certificate of the Secretary for posting nominees. The certificate reads as follows. I, Robert Neese, Secretary Treasurer of REA Energy Cooperative, hereby certify that pursuant to Article 3 of Section 3 of the bylaws, copies of the petitions of those nominated by petition were posted in the Cooperative's office on Airport Road, Indiana, Pennsylvania, from the date received until September 10th, 2020, by Robert Neese, Secretary Treasurer. At this time, I would like to provide you with the election results. In 2020, Districts 3 and 4 were up for regular election. A special election for District 1 was held to fill a vacancy on the board. On June 16, 2020, the 9-member Credentials and Elections Committee met to certify the submitted candidates' petitions from District 1, 3, and 4. All candidates met the necessary requirements and were deemed eligible to run. In District 1, incumbent Thomas Barisnak received 531 votes, and challenger Paul Weston received 191 votes. Therefore, from these results, I certify that Thomas Barisnak has been elected to serve the balance of the current 4-year term for District 1, which will be up for re-election in 2023. In District 3, incumbent Michael Bertolino was the only candidate to turn in a petition for that district. According to REA Energy Bylaws, Article 2, Section 6F, where only one candidate for director has been nominated and qualified in a district, the nominating petition shall constitute a written ballot, waiver of the necessity of holding an election, and consent that each member's signature shall constitute a vote for that candidate. No further action shall be necessary for the election of the qualified candidate, who shall thereby be elected director. Therefore, the committee deemed Mr. Bertolino elected to another 4-year term to represent the members of District 3. In District 4, incumbent Howard Turndrop received 270 votes, and challenger Thomas Arndt received 390 votes. Therefore, from these results, I certify that Thomas Arndt has been elected to serve a 4-year term to represent the members of District 4. Thank you and congratulations to those that are elected. Good evening.
On behalf of the board, management, and employees of REA Energy, I would like to thank you for attending our 2020 annual meeting. We are proud of our great cooperative with its excellent management and employees an affordable and reliable service. This year has presented many challenges and uncertainties. Over the past several months, the coronavirus COVID-19 crisis has required us to adjust our daily routines and activities. But as a cooperative, we must always be there for our members' needs, safely and reliably keeping the lights on. As a company, necessary changes were made to help with public safety, such as closing our lobbies to the public, splitting our inside workforce between our 2 offices and some employees working telecommunicating. Our line crews and our load management technicians were separated from the office staff and other crews to protect them from possible virus spread. Another decision that we had to consider this year is how we're going to hold the annual meeting. Would be due to the concern of our members and employees' health and safety, along with the current limit on size gatherings, we decided moving forward with an online format for the meeting. With the switch to online format, we had to make some adjustments to how the meeting itself would be conducted, including some bylaw changes in accordance with the state laws. A determination of a quorum would be the majority of the members present in person and online instead of the minimum of 75. Another change also allows us to conduct the meeting in person, online, or both. In 2021, we were planning to having in-person meetings and will utilize the online format again as well. Times like this shows how important it is for the cooperative and its members to join for a common cause. In time of adversity, teamwork and solidarity shine. Our board management and employees extend a sincere thank you for your patience and understanding. We look forward to continuing to serve you with excellent service now and for years to come. At the heart of our cooperative mission statement lies a phrase. It's a board and management will work together as a team to improve the quality of rural life now and for the future. We are proud to say, as a cooperative family, everyone worked together seamlessly to keep the lights on and continue with our daily businesses. I would like to extend an earnest thank you to the employees, management of the cooperative, from the board of directors as a job well done.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's President CEO report. We're doing things a little bit differently this year due to the virus and the change to an online meeting. So we're going to have more of a town hall format, and I'm going to field some questions from our members. So Stacy, what's tonight's first question?
The first question that members have is, what are the financials of the cooperative like?
Well, this meeting is for 2019, so we'll be discussing the 2019 financials. In 2019, we had a really good year. This slide breaks it down in between an income statement and our balance sheet. So if you look at the left side, we'll go through the income statement first. Revenue came in around $45.6 million. Out of that $45.6 million, we had a one-time revenue deferral applied of about $2 million. So from an electrical sales standpoint, it was more around $43 million. Our power bill, we do not generate any electricity. We buy all of our electricity. So we have to pay our power bill just like our members. Our power bill came in around $23 million. Overall expenses, we had a lot of storms in 2019. We cleared a lot of right-of-ways, so it came to around $22 million. Going down from there, operating margins came in around $733,000. And we have what's called non-cash margins, which came in around $400,000. And what non-cash margins are is we belong to cooperatives as well. So our members belong to a cooperative. We also belong to a cooperative. When those cooperatives have equity, we get an ownership in that cooperative. Sometimes we don't get cash, but they do count as margins. So we call them non-cash margins.
For our purposes, they are counted as margins for our ratio requirements. So our total margins of $1.1 million allowed us to meet our financial obligations from our mortgage lender. If you look to the right side, we'll look at the breakdown of the balance sheet. So we had total assets of about $124 million. And assets include everything from poles, substations, buildings, trucks, vehicles, tools, and other equipment. And on the right side of the balance sheet, you look at long-term debt. About 45% of our liabilities is long-term debt. 7% are more your short-term liabilities, and then we have about 48% in equity. I'd also like to share another slide. This is revenue versus expenses from 2011 through 2019. You want to see a difference between the blue line and the orange line. That is our margins. So if you look at 2011, we went to 2012, those lines inverted. And I'm pointing that out because that was a year where we had a loss, meaning we made negative margins. But as you go along, you can see in 2019, our two lines were starting to come together. The reason why I'd like to point that out is because we've had some questions as to the rate increase this year. And the reason why we had a rate increase is because those lines were coming together and we were trying to avoid the potential for a loss. You might be asking why those lines came together. This slide explains it all. 2019, we had decrease in kilowatt hour sales. There are many reasons why we had decrease in kilowatt hour sales. Some of it has to do with people just use less electricity nowadays because there's more energy efficient products. But this next slide, I think, really sums it up. As you can see, from 2012 to 2019, we've had less members overall. And when you look at consumers, and I'll explain the difference between consumers and members, but consumers, we've also went down. And the big difference between consumers and members is members may have more than one electric service. So when you think of a commercial entity, they might have 50 services. We count those as consumers. So we always have more consumers than members, but overall, both of them are decreasing. What's our next question, Stacy?
The next question that we have is that we have seen periodic rate and service charge increases since 2012. Why have they occurred, and will there be more in the future?
The last slide I showed really summarizes why we've had to have rate increases since 2012. So 2012, as I mentioned earlier, was our first loss. We had to have a rate increase in 2013. But since then, we've lost membership, we've lost consumers, and with the addition of less energy consumption from more greener products that are out there, overall members use less electricity. We've also had some commercial accounts leave as well. So as that happens, we have a lot of fixed costs that we have to pay for. If you remember, I mentioned we have $124 million in assets. So we have to pay for those assets. We are a utility, and you have to maintain your 2,700 miles of line, irregardless of how many members you have. So in order to do that, we do have to have rate increases. As long as we keep losing members and keep losing consumers, we will have to have more regular rate increases. We're hoping that changes in the future. Okay, Stacey, our next question.
Next question is, why is cooperative service charge higher than the other electric utility in the area?
We get that question frequently. Plain and simple, we're a rural electric utility. That service charge pays for all fixed assets that the cooperative has. So if you think about the substations, the 2,700 miles of line, we have 70,000 poles, transformers, capacitors, meters, all those assets have to be paid for, and the service charge pays for that. So the reason why our service charge is higher because we have a lot less people paying for those fixed assets. We have approximately 7.5 people per mile. And when you compare us to the urbanized electric utilities, they may have 30 people per mile. So when you really compare us from a proportional standpoint, we compare quite favorably.
Okay. Next question. We had a power outage recently following a bad storm. Why does it sometimes take a while to restore my power?
To start from the beginning to end, the way a storm gets restored is storm rolls through. there's some outages occur, and they can occur in one area, or they could occur all over the place. The calls start to come in. Typically, storms in western Pennsylvania don't happen in the middle of the day. So our men are at home. They could even be sleeping. So as you can imagine, when those calls start to come in, there's already a time delay. The clock's already started as far as we're concerned. Our men get called. They might get called out of bed. They have to get themselves up. They have to get their clothing to come to work. Then once they get here, they have to go through the trucks, make sure they have the right equipment and the right tools, because they don't want to get out there and turn around and have to come back and get something that they forgot. Once they get out there, they have to assess the situation. It's very dangerous, and they can't see all those hazards at night, so they take their time to make sure that there's no hidden hazard that could get them hurt. And then they have to also work in the dark. From there, if it's bad enough, they might have to call in more men to take care of it. And we may even have to call in tree trimmers. So when you look at that, our most recent storm that you're referring to, we had over 13 poles that came down because there was a bit of a microburst down in the Blairsville area of our territory. And so I think it ended up being around a 12-hour outage, which we felt was really good because it wasn't just 13 poles that were down. There was a lot of trees that were down on top of the conductors and the poles that had to be cleared out. So we felt pretty good because we had everybody up and running in approximately 12 hours with something that was very, very devastating to the area.
Next question was, I would like to make some home improvements. What products and services does your subsidiary offer?
That's a good question. We're very proud of REA Energy Services. REA Energy Services is our for-profit subsidiary. So REA Energy Cooperative is a not-for-profit company that owns REA Energy Services, which is for-profit. And in today's day and age, sometimes for-profit gets a bad rap, but the profits from the subsidiary come back to the co-op to help offset costs. So REA Energy Services throughout the years has literally offset probably over $1 million in costs in total. But more importantly, what it does is it gives our members a service, it gives them products they can trust, and they know we're always going to be here. We've been here since 1937, and they know we're going to back our products and services. So we offer electrical contracting, anything from the smallest job up to a large commercial job. We offer heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Again, same situation. We will do everything from a small job up to a large job. And we also sell and install generators. Those three product lines are done with our own employees. We use only the best vendors. So we use American Standard, Honeywell, Kohler. So we always try to make sure that whatever product we have is going to last. The fourth thing that we offer is tree trimming. And tree trimming, we use our tree trimmers that cut our lines because they give us such a good rate because we do cut a lot of miles of line. We pass that on to the membership.
One last question I have here is, we have been hearing about broadband being offered in the area. Does REA Energy have any plans to offer it?
REA Energy is in the process of coming up to the final evaluation of broadband. We've been talking about it more in depth in the last 3 to 4 years, but REA Energy has always evaluated broadband, really starting about 20 years ago. A lot of members may remember that we used to actually offer dial-up broadband. Then we went ahead and evaluated broadband over power lines, and unfortunately that technology never really took off. It never really matured, and it just didn't work. There's too much equipment along electric distribution line that caused that particular technology to just never be figured out. So the next technology, and it's a little bit of a future-proof technology, is fiber, but that's also the most expensive, and it's cost prohibitive to run fiber throughout our whole system. So our approach now is to look at a multi-technological approach where all members have some type of option, and we're just making sure that the pricing is there and that we can afford it as a company to go ahead and offer that to the membership. I welcome all members to call into the office if you have any questions on broadband or anything else. And please, one of the best places to get your information is please read Penlines or visit our website. This concludes the President CEO update. Thank you.
Now comes the part of the program that everybody's been waiting for. We have two parts yet, the adjournment, and then stay tuned for the prizes drawings. This concludes the 2020 annual meeting of the members of REA Energy Cooperative Incorporated. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
Shane Cribbs makes the motion. Do I hear a second?
I second.
Linda Zinkman makes a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So moved. This concludes our annual 2020 meeting. We will now conduct the drawing for the Operation Roundup contributions and for the door prizes. Thank you.
We'll now be pulling the winners of two $100 checks for participating in Operation Roundup. For each month a member rounds up their bill, they receive an entry into the drawing for this. So let's go ahead and pull our first. Michael Stoen. All right. Well, let's go ahead and pull our second winner now. Jeffrey Reisinger. All right, we're just finishing up the final part, and we are going to go ahead and do the drawing for the grand prizes, door prizes. Brian Woomer will now be coming up to draw our winners.
We have 5 door prizes. One of them will be a $200 bill credit. Another will be a $200 bill credit. We have a $300 bill credit, $400 bill credit, and a $500 bill credit. So I'll start the drawing for the first prize, which is a $200 bill credit. Janet Murphy. Janet Murphy with a $200 bill credit. Second, $200 bill credit, Gordon Bish. Gordon Bish, again with a $200 credit. $300 credit will go to Elwood Glacken. Elwood Glacken, that's a $300 bill credit. A $400 bill credit will go to Joe Royer. Joe Royer, it's a $400 bill credit. And lastly, $500 bill credit will go to David Felgar. David Felgar with a $500 bill credit. This concludes our broadcast. And on behalf of REA Energy and the Board of Directors, we'd like to thank you all for attending.